Welcome to Lab 6, configuring switch access port security. Very important part of the syllabus. It's actually CCENT, which I'm just corrected in my original document here. So you can be expected to be grilled on this in the exam, either with theory questions or you can be asked a lab. You can see the topology here, creating a VLAN just for practice actually. Not really a relevant part of the lab here, but it's good to get some extra practice. I'm actually using my live racks here. Trying to remember why I didn't use Packet Tracer, but oh yeah, it's just a simple way of using a router as a host. If you've got access to a home network or a Packet Tracer, you can easily add a host instead of a router to the switch ports and practice that way. So I'm adding my VLAN. You should be familiar with these commands already, I'm hoping. If not, just keep going over the labs until you get to a point where you're very familiar with all of them. Just going to refer back to the steps a few times to make sure we've got the correct IP addresses. It's a 30-bit subnet mask, so we've just got two hosts in our subnet here. I'm going to create an interface VLAN 10 and add an IP address. So we've got IP connectivity between the switch layer 3 and the router. Back over to the router now to do some configuration. Got to add the IP address, the first available host in the subnet. As I said, there's only two, there's .1 and .2. Shut down that interface. Just check in some more of the configuration just to make sure I cover everything. Got to just keep swapping back between the diagram, the configuration steps and the live equipment. Alright, so I'm going to ping between the router and the switch. As you know, it doesn't always work first time because it takes a short while for the interface to come up. Hop on over to the switch. I can see the interface is up for VLAN 10. I'll ping the router from the switch and it's come up now, the interface is up and working. I've said before, but we can't progress with the lab until we've got this part of it working. Alright, so just checking some more steps in the challenge part of the lab. So we're only allowing one MAC address. So we go into the port security. Obviously it's switch port security. That enables port security, so then we can add the commands. We've told it to allow a maximum of one MAC address. I actually need to check this because I think the maximum is actually only one, but I need to double check that. I only thought of it while I was looking at the configuration commands. So a violation action is shut down. You can see just a brief printing of what the configurations are for the entire switch, the current addresses and the security action, and then you can drill down to the actual port. Show port-security interface fast Ethernet 0/2. So you can see it's enabled, the current status is secure up, the violation action mode is shut down. There's some advanced fields there which you won't go into until you do the CCNP switch. Latest source address, you know that's going to belong to the router that ends C4B2. Now we obviously need some way of triggering a violation action, depending on how you've set it up at home or wherever you are. Packet trace is pretty easy. You can just change the MAC address of the host. You can also do the same on the router interfaces. So show interface fast Ethernet 0/0. You can see the MAC address here. You can actually change the MAC address on a router interface here, MAC-address, and then I'm just going to paste in the current one and just change one character in that. So I'll change the 2 to A3. Yours is obviously going to be different, but the result's still the same. Now before I do anything, you should see an error message straight away, and you can see the interface has actually gone down already. So that happened real quick. And we can look into the switch to see more information. You're obviously going to see more information because you've got the security configuration here. So security violation caused by MAC address ending in 3. Show port security shows you the last source MAC address. It's shut down now. The live state is shut down. And then just the last command is show port security, which gives you a general overview. But that's the end of the lab. Thanks for watching.